to right on your screen are head coach Tony Vitello, starting pitcher Chad Dallas, and third baseman Jake Rucker. To ask a question, please click the raise your hand function, and we'll call on you one at a time. Before we take questions, Coach will make some opening remarks. Coach?
Yeah, I mean, kudos to the people running the deal, and then also our people that decided to throw that block party, their fans, our fans. I don't know how you beat that environment other than keep the rain away, although the rain seemed to stoke the fire a little bit with the people. And then I was impressed that the guy to the left of me, for a lot of different reasons tonight, but mainly he was out there, got an out in a torrential downpour, and then looked like he was on his way to get another one, but and then waits out the rain delay. So that's the thing that most sticks in my mind is how great the environment was and how gritty and gutty the guy to my left is, kind of like Scotty Skiles, they used to say. And I've always said he's a good guy to lead us into a weekend because that's the way he is. And our guys seem to kind of follow his lead. They do it in the dugout too, when he's horsing around, which can be aggravating sometimes. But, when it's on the field, there's a lot of passion, there's a lot of grit. And if you're going to summarize our win, it's not like LSU didn't have the same thing, but it was kind of our brand of baseball. And we were able to overcome a little bit of adversity and fortunately win the game tonight.
Questions? We'll start with Ben McKee, and then we'll go to Jordan.
Yeah, Tony, was there any thought to going to somebody else during that rain delay? And just what did you see from Chad and Chad, what was working for you so well? And how did you kind of stay locked in there during that 50-minute rain delay?
Yeah, the administrative people here, Greg was the main guy. They communicated well to us what was going on. So we kind of had a decent idea of what was going to happen. So there was never going to be a long enough delay where we'd consider switching, but also it would have had to be really, really long because I can't coach pitchers like Frank, but you go out on the road, you scout them, and I did coach them for a few years. You kind of can see when a guy is locked in to the point where it's almost like he's not going to let anything happen other than what he wants to. And Chad kind of had that look to him. And obviously he's not invincible and he's facing a really good team, but he just kind of had that look of determination. So I think really that was an easier decision than it was to leave him in to finish his final inning. But again, he kind of facing Coach Bianco's son. I mean, he just kind of had that look like he was in get it done mode tonight. And he certainly was. And once again, our guys followed. So. Oh, you big boy.
Yeah.
How'd you do it? Let them know.
Yeah. So going through the rain delay was a little different. I mean, you sometimes sit through long innings, but those aren't as long as, sometimes what this rain delay was. But like Coach Vitello said, I felt like it was my game to continue. In my heart and in my mind that there was nothing that was going to take me out of that game, no matter how long it was. Just as soon as I saw that it was a delay, I automatically went up to, I think it was Coach Anderson, and asked him, when can I go down to the cages and, stay stretched out. It was just the competitor inside me that, didn't want to get taken out of the game. And so it was just, there we go.
Jordan.
Hey, Tony, as you kind of look at this game, 3 of your 4 RBIs came in the back half of your lineup. Just as you kind of get into this point in the season, how much of a blessing is that to you that you kind of know top to bottom, you don't have anyone that you wouldn't want to see at the plate, so to speak?
No, it is. And you're giving me flashbacks to teams. I won't name any names, but it's tough to have a 1 through 9 deal going on. But in this league, every roster is so stacked. You tend to see the best offenses don't give you any breathing room. And I've been a part of teams or coached with teams where that's not necessarily the case. And everybody can feel the weight of the game on their shoulders when this guy's up or that guy's up or this part of the order. And if they don't get it done, then it's not going to happen. And with this club, it's different. It could be anyone on any given night. And you could see a guy, not naming any names, have a really bad at bat. And then next thing you know, he's willing to compete and answer the bell, which seems to be one of our themes, the next at bat. And, It could be our guy takes the best BP out of anybody in a game, but doesn't get it done in his at-bats, but the 2 or 3 hitters behind him do. So it's a blessing in particular this time of year because you want your dugout to be confident. And I think these guys think that they can find a way.
Troy, then David Ubben.
Tony, I got 2 questions for you just regarding emotion. I guess one, you seem to be really amped up right before the national anthem during that starting lineup. So I guess just what has the lead up to this game been like for y'all? And I guess just how exciting was it to finally take the field and get ready to play game 1 and 2? I guess, was there any frustration on your part that they didn't call the game prior to Chad giving up that home run?
Well, as far as prior to the game, a lot was made of the long week and now it's over with. Our guys are, they've been plopped right in the middle of a tournament. It's a, super regional tournament and now we're in the middle of it, but a lot was made leading up to it. And I thought our guys were fine. I mean, part of the deal is we got done late Sunday night. I'm sure Chad didn't go to bed before midnight on Sunday night. We didn't know who we were playing till Tuesday morning, technically. So even though we were pushed to Saturday, the week was not as slow as you might think. And the guys were really good in training. There's not much you can do in practice this time of year. And then early in the day, I kind of had that vibe like, man, our guys this could be a good deal. The vibes we were getting. And then as that anthem picked up, everybody, including the coaches and myself, I think just got a little too jacked up. And it's hard to say that you should do otherwise when the environment's like that. You see a SEC opponent across the other side and all that. But once we calmed down and played, it was definitely in our favor. And there were some emotions from our side when the torrential downpour was going on. It was flashbacks of Fresno State. My main thing was I was just about to ask if homeboy needed any conditioner on the mound. He slipped once, but he probably hurt us and himself a little bit by being in such go mode instead of kind of even cleaning his spikes would have maybe caused us to walk out there. But it's a decision that's out of our hands. Maybe could have called time and asked for some conditioner. But I'll be dang. I mean, you could say everything happens for a reason, but I'd say everything seems to happen crazy to this team. Sometimes we do it to ourselves and sometimes we overcome those things, but it's just kind of part of our mantra.
David.
Yeah, for all you guys, what were you guys kind of doing in the during the delay and also down a run 2 separate occasions? What was it like in the dugout when that's the scoreboard in a game like this?
Start with Chad.
For me, I was just trying to keep my body ready to go at all times, stay stretched out, keep my arm ready to get back on the mound. And, the dugout vibe for me, it felt really good. Even when we were down, you trust everybody else on the team as much as possible. They can get it done whenever in whichever situation. So you just stay positive and just wait for something to go your way.
Jake?
Yeah, adding on to what Chad said, like we were just hanging out in the locker room, playing some music, trying to keep the vibes up, and just try to stay focused. And even though it was 50 minutes, we just weren't really worried about the rain delay. We were just worried about us and not really worried about anything else, just getting ready to go and whenever they call us back out on the field.
Coach?
Yeah, I mean, you try and keep you should have seen a couple of our younger coaches running around like mad. You kind of just try and keep it organized. You don't want the frustration of being down 1-0 to carry over, but you also don't want them to get so giddy that they can't get locked back in, because we knew it was going to be a quick turn, whenever they allowed us to get back on the field. So all in all, I think the kids do a good job of managing themselves in a lot of situations. And that's one where you kind of just don't do anything. You hang out, or do less, like forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Will Backus, then Ryan Shumpert.
Yeah, Tony, what does it say about this team's identity that it keeps getting pushed in or put into high pressure situations like you had a couple times today, and it keeps delivering for the most part?
Zero regard for their coaching staff's heart or arteries or however that stuff works scientifically. But you get to this time of year, it's not going to be easy. You play in our league, it's not going to be easy. You kind of win some games, or you do some things, and you show up on social media, and on Tuesday, people are coming in here to take something from you. It's never going to be easy. And we've never asked for it to be like that. It's been kind of a rough go since day one when our coaching staff first got here to get to where we want to get. And we're still working towards those things. But again, it's never going to be easy along the way. And somehow or somewhere in the whole mix of this, the kids have kind of embraced that and almost kind of welcomed it. And I think that's helped them, succeed in the situations you're kind of referring to. And a lot of that starts with leadership. And so we have two good candidates sitting to the left of me as it relates to that.
For Coach, it seemed like sometime in SEC play, y'all's kind of offensive identity had changed a little bit as the power came out. Just how important were those 6 weeks when your identity was kind of grinding out at bats in a game like this when the power wasn't quite as potent?
Yeah, deja vu all over again. I think Folky's calling you. So hello, Folky, if you were watching the game. I know he's a fan, but it shows that you can win games in any type of situation. And it's really fun to have. We haven't had that many of them. It's really fun, for the offense to explode and the fans to go nuts and win by 8 or 9 runs. But it hasn't happened often. And especially early in the year, as you mentioned, the kids just kind of had to learn to find a way. And it came in a variety of ways on the road and at home. And so, in your utility belt, when you need something, we're fortunate enough we kind of got a, diverse portfolio that you can go to as it relates to finding a way to win a game.
Trey Wallace, then Wes Rucker.
Hey, Tony. So during that 6th inning, kind of walk us through your thoughts on what went on with Drew Gilbert, reaching on the fielder's choice, and then Lipsius taking care of business, and kind of momentum swinging your way. In your eyes, what did you see out of that? What did you see out of your hitters taking pitches and walking, and how would you sum it up?
I honestly think it all started with Chad. You were talking about basketball here a second ago. A lot of great basketball coaches say your best offense is defense. And, I think the fact that he was able to get out of that jam in a really tough spot when, if you're a fan or you're a media member, you're saying, man, we don't really have a lot of wiggle room for air here. And we come in with that momentum in the dugout. They were charged up. So you had guys with that good mix that we were fighting for all game long of, amped up because it's, super regional, all that good stuff, but also just kind of more relaxed and focused on being determined to win pitches. And, whether that's the best description or not, I don't know, but there was a good mix in the dugout. It was a good vibe going on in that inning. And, sometimes karma's on your side when that's the case. You get kind of a funky bounce and you get a ball that goes over an infielder's head, and guys hustle and make things happen. So it worked out well in that inning. But again, I feel like it all started on the defensive end.
And following that up real quick, Tony, knowing that you were about to make the pitching change, how big was that in the terms of Hundley? I know about the runs scored, but in your mindset and Frank's mindset, knowing what you guys were about to do.
I think it was huge. It it never works out where plan A is what happens in the game. But prior to the game, you got to at least envision, how it'll go if it goes your way. And then along the way, there's, of course, some speed bumps. But the guy, we've never really pushed him to the max, even though several times he said to me, I can save our bullpen because he's always throwing game one. But his shtick or his thing is he's going to have energy. He's going to compete his butt off. He's not going to be flawless, but he's going to get us deep into the game and give us a chance to win. And, it's nice driving to the park knowing that when you got homeboy throwing here.
Back to Ben and Troy.
Yeah, Tony, just looking towards tomorrow, just how big do you expect tonight's pitching performance from Chad to maybe help out Blade as he kind of goes back out there against LSU? And I was curious, Jake, just your perspective on what Hilliard was doing so well to keep y'all off balance, and then what changed when the lefty came in?
Yeah, as far as Blade, I mean, it's really kind of been more about obviously he's thrown on either game 2 or game 3 for us. So he's been able to watch the opponent and learn from his teammates. But really it's kind of been about Blade's, his evolving as a pitcher and maturing as a college athlete. So I think that's, kind of more his deal he's going on. He's just been getting a little better each week, and it's been fun to watch. And I think Chad's effort certainly helps that. I think Chad and Sean made sure we didn't really have to tax the bullpen like crazy. Of course, same thing on the other side of the dugout. And, they'll have their guy going, Marceau. And, Jake will talk about Hilliard. I recruited the heck out of Hilliard. I don't think he remembers me because he stuck it on us pretty good. He's an outstanding pitcher, but, the guy that they've had as their ace or their go-to guy is throwing tomorrow.
Yeah, adding on to what Coach V was saying about Hilliard, he obviously is a good pitcher. He threw pretty well today. All his pitches working pretty well, keeping the hitters off balance. He didn't really have anything overpowering, but all his pitches moved pretty good, and that's just allowed us to not be able to kind of hit him that well. But when that lefty came in, we kind of got something going, like in the 6th inning, like we were talking about earlier, and just Chad keeping us in the mix throughout the game, and just playing that defensive role on the mound there. So with the help of him and us being able to put some at-bats together, just helped us get the win.
Let's go to Wes real quick.
Hey, for Jake and for Chad, it seems like ever since maybe going back to the Florida series, people keep asking, will this moment ever get too big for this team? Y'all played some of those top 5 teams in the regular season, then you became a top 5 team. Then it was, okay, can they do it down the stretch? And then it was, okay, can they do it in Hoover? And then the regional. I mean, at some point, are people just going to have to stop asking if a moment's going to get too big for y'all? It just seems like you just seem to keep handling them.
Obviously the SEC is probably the best conference in the league, and it helped us prepare playing all those big teams, top ranked in the country. And so just having those close games, I guess, just we just trust the guys around us, and we just have that confidence in each other that we're going to get the job done later in the game, just because we've been through basically everything so far this season. And so we've definitely seen something different every night. And so we're just going to go out there and keep doing us and keep playing our game.
Yeah. Adding on to what Jake was saying, trusting everybody on the team in any situation that comes our way is really big. We're a very close team with, teammates. And when you have that trust in, everybody on the team, it helps so much of just staying cool, calm, and collected while in the dugout, waiting your turn. So, like he was saying, when you trust everybody in any situation, it helps kind of keep the relaxation.
Hashtag Team Rucker, by the way.
Troy?
Jake, Ryan touched on it a little bit, but how much easier is it for y'all as an offense when y'all don't just have to rely on scoring on power or scoring with a small ball, and just kind of being able to take that pressure off yourself and knowing that there's not one road to getting back in a ball game?
Yeah, going back earlier to what we were saying about just the back half came through for us tonight, getting it done, because like 1 through 9, we're pretty dangerous. And so we're just going to keep doing our thing and keep using that mojo and momentum that we've had. And we're just going to keep doing what we've been doing and not really changing anything. So
Blake, then back to Trey.
Yeah, Tony, we hear coaches all the time that are trying to rebuild programs say, be patient and it takes time, et cetera. You're in year 4 and your program is 1 game away from the College World Series. How have you done this on this timeline?
I don't have a lot of patience, as you probably saw somewhere in the 2nd inning or something. I look like an idiot, I'm sure, if the cameras were on me during the game, but there's definitely no secret sauce. I mean, we have good players, so they make you look smart. But if I gave a direct and really a most accurate answer, it'd be the people that are in this building that work with our guys. I mean, Megan Anderson, our academic coordinator, and Jeff Woody, our trainer. I mean, I've been doing this a while, and I don't mean to offend anybody else, but it's not even close. those two on how they do their jobs. So I think, you know, we have good people working with good kids, and it makes it a little easier. Not super easy to sleep at night, but it definitely makes it easier to sleep at night. So.
Hey, Tony, during the rain delay, I want to go back just a second. Was there ever a thought between you and Frank, kind of what you guys were going to talk to the team about? Were you going to say anything, or did you just kind of leave it alone and let the players kind of just hash it out on their own?
Yeah, I mean, I hate being overly honest with these guys here, but I kept going to each assistant and saying, am I going in there and saying anything? And everybody just said, leave them alone. And, you know, that's me just, you know, I wasn't exactly happy with kind of the presence that was there. It's not like anything was wrong, but it wasn't themselves. They were kind of going outside themselves a little bit, maybe too amped up, whatever you want to call it. But I just gave it a great example of what I was talking about before. I wasn't throwing BS out there. There's really good people that are really great at their specific job. And they know these kids well because they're around them so much and take so much pride in it. So I asked them for advice before I almost do anything. And they were right on. Just let the guys be. They, you know, Ruck said it a few times, Mojo, they kind of got their own deal going this year. And so they've got a lot of latitude and they do a great job with it.
Last question, Ryan.
For Jake, Tony kind of referenced your rough at bat a minute ago. Just what were you able to do to get that out of your mind and bounce back with 2 doubles?
Yeah, going back to what I was saying about Hilliard, it's just like his stuff was good, you know, like, yeah, all of his pitches were working pretty well. And so just all my teammates going, when I was in the dugout, just picking me up and let me know everything's going to be all right and just go get the next one and don't worry about that last at bat. And just trying to stay positive. And like I said, that mojo that we have, it's been working. And so just having that confidence with each other and having that trust definitely helped me out to get those 2 doubles, or just for us, the rest of the team, to string some hits together and score some runs for the pitchers. So.
Thank you, gentlemen, and congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate y'all.